Good morning, all my beautiful friends. It's Sandy, the Sunroom Stitcher, coming to you from the wonderful, beautiful folds of our lilac thicket, my husband's lilac thicket. We've had a couple of days of really nice spring weather, and I'm sitting here watching the birds as I'm talking. I made a video yesterday. I didn't like it, so I'm redoing it today. But right now we've got, let's see, we've got a starling, which, no, excuse me, that's not a starling. That is a snowbird. We still have snowbirds here. I've got a male cardinal, a sparrow, and we'll have a number of other birds out here pretty soon. We've had woodpeckers out here, the downy woodpeckers and the red-breasted woodpeckers, and I've been watching the male cardinals fight over the females. Our chipmunk's back too. I saw a chipmunk yesterday, the day before, and today, this morning already. So I'm really excited about that because I love my chippers. All of them are named Chip or they're named Monk, one of the two. It's hard to figure out which one is which because they all look the same. But anyways, it's just delightful. The grass is starting to green up, and there's a male European sparrow, and there's a squirrel nest up in the Bradford pear. We're getting buds on my lilac bushes here, and then my daffodils and paper whites out back, right over my right shoulder over here. They're about 6 inches up out of the ground. So, and I do see some green fuzz on the willow tree. The willow was the last one to shed its leaves last autumn, or actually it was in the winter, I think. But anyways, so today is Tuesday. It's March 15th, and it is 10:46 in the morning. This past weekend we had the dreaded spring forward an hour. I didn't even know we were supposed to do it, and I thought I was up at 7 o'clock, and it was really 8 o'clock. So anyways, but life is just wonderful here, and what we got there? Okay, that's a snowbird or a slate-colored junco. And the skies are just gorgeous blue, gorgeous blue. Yesterday, Mom picked me up, and we went and we mailed a package to my best friend in Orkney, and hopefully she'll have it by the end of the week. Oh, that cardinal is just beautiful. Hello, Mr. Cardinal. So then we went to Culver's and we had a sandwich in there. It was a pleasant experience. Mom and I were talking, and just about everything. Just there's some drama going on in the family, which doesn't have any. It's like within the in-laws. You know, and I asked my mom this yesterday. I said, what's so different about our family? Because my siblings and I, there's so much love and respect for one another. We're all honest, decent people. We would never try to steal or cheat one another. And yet, in all of the in-laws, my husband's family, my brother-in-law's family, my sister-in-law's family, there is some of the nastiest crap that goes on. I cannot believe how family treats one another. It's beyond me. And I don't know what it is, what Mom did different within us kids. I really honestly don't know. But there is something different about that. And I'm thankful for that, because all of my brother and sister and my brother Rick, who's passed, we're all good, decent people, and we care about one another, and we support one another, and we're there for one another. Yeah. Anyways, I just said that because it's on my mind. Oh, there's a pig. And a pig is either a starling or a grackle, and they've come in from the fields or from the winter time, and they just come in and they devour everything and anything in sight. And there is Chip or Monk, I'm not sure, but he's out there. Oh, I just love this. I might sit out here all day, but our sunroom needs a good cleaning. So this is the 82nd Flosstube video that I've done. And I do have some things to share with you. We're gonna get to that, and then we'll get to all the other goop and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. It's not nice. But this is Gloria, and I have worked on her. I forgot to bring out my laptop stand. I finished off this row, and I brought the border down on this side, and now I have to bring the border down on this side, and it will be done. And I was hoping that this would show up a little better out here in the natural light, but it looks rather dark. But I've set this down for a few days, and I am working on this, which this is a free design from the Palco Lab site, and I'll put I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says April, and it's 43 by 43, 43 stitches by 43 stitches, and I am stitching it on 28 count Zwigart Cashel linen in ice blue, and I'm using 2 colors of floss. The pattern just calls for it to be done in 1, but I want to do it in 2. And I've done the top scroll and the some of the border motifs, but I wanted this to look like reflect April showers, and so I chose a blue called Deep Blue Sea by Classic Colorworks. I think it's not as purpley, and I chose a 6-strand sweets called Berry Twist, and it's got purples and greenish blues in it. So that's what I'm stitching that in. I'm wanting to stitch it and then photograph it so I can attach it to the post on April 1st on Needle Free for All. Because I love those monthly things. I think that they're really cool. And what's really nice about these by Palco Lab is that they're quick stitches, even though I'm a slow stitcher. So that is the stitching that's going on here, and I just do really like that. But anyways, And I will get back to Gloria, just probably not this week. I mean, I should be able to stitch that in 2 days, but I'm slow. So I have printed off a couple of freebies that I want to stitch. One of them being, it's from Rainbow Gallery. It's Erica Michaels, Irish Eyes Are Smiling. And what I'd like to do is use maybe some of the treasure braid to stitch this in green. I thought that would be neat. And the others that I want to stitch up, I actually want to make this to go in the middle of a grapevine wreath. And it says, "Welcome, home sweet home." And there's a couple of sheep and some flowers or trees on either side. And I like that. I love this sheep. Who doesn't love sheep? Yeah, it's got some little Quaker flowers up here in the corner. So I want to stitch that. And honestly, I think this is called C&C. And I honestly can't read who, it's a French designer, but anyways, I signed up for the email, and she does not post her freebies on her blog. She actually sends them as an attachment in her email. And what I did was I got this, and I really liked that. It was bright and cheerful, and I thought, wouldn't that be pretty as a card face for my mom for Mother's Day? So I will post the link to this blog, and you can sign up, and you can get, actually she does it quite frequently. She'll send freebies in the mail. Some of her stuff that I've gotten, most of her stuff that I've gotten since I've signed up, I haven't really liked it, but I did like that, and I thought that would be, it doesn't hurt to download them and save them, because you know what? Your taste changes. I certainly know my taste in what I like in cross stitch has changed a great deal since 1986. So it doesn't, and I'm glad that I do save that stuff, because back before the turn of the century, you used to get paper cross stitch freebies, and you'd get them in the shops, and you could get them in the mail too. I would get newsletters that had them, and I saved them, and I've got probably a good 18-inch tall thing full, probably more than that, because some of them are notebooks. And I love going through those things. I can spend 2 days going through all my freebies, looking at them, pulling out the ones that I want to do, and that pile is always different than the last time I went through that pile. So yeah, I did buy some stash, and I haven't received it in the mail, and I really hope that I do, because this was a cross-eyed cricket, a wee folk angel. It was a wee folk angel number 61. And last year I saw this, and I don't know how in the world I could have missed it. This is Seamus O'Blarney, and he looks like he's a St. Patrick's Day wee folk. And he's got little wings on him. And this isn't a really good picture, but I printed it off so I could show you. I think he is absolutely darling. I love that the shamrock sort of just droops off of his green chapeau. And I love the little curl at the toe of his shoes. I just think he is absolutely darling with his striped socks and his red hair. He is cute. Well, anyways, Kathy could not get him. He was no longer in print. So I just happened to see something on Pinterest, and I followed it thinking, maybe I'll find it. Well, it led me to eBay where they actually had one for sale. So I bought it for $6 and $1.50 shipping and handling. So I am waiting on Seamus O'Blarney to come. And actually, that is the report on my progress on my stitching. And the stash that I bought, $7.50. And then some of the freebies. There is a blog called Imaginique, and she has got black work on it. And it's from simple black work designs to more intricate black work designs. And they are stunning. And so I will link those down in the bottom in the show notes. Another was, there were a couple of silhouettes. They're supposed to be Victorian silhouettes, but they're little. And the man has a pipe and a big top hat on, and he reminded me of a leprechaun. So I thought I would stitch both of them in green silhouettes. And so I'm gonna put the links to that down below. Palco Lab freebie that I'm doing, I'm gonna link that below. And the Jardin Prive, the sheep, the welcome, and Home Sweet Home, I will link that down below. So, what is this? This is 17 minutes. What are we going to talk about today? Besides, I've got a quote from the Bible. My plans are to clean up this lovely outdoors, because the next couple of, well, actually about the next month, the weather's going to be in the 50s and 60s, and I am so excited about that. I do need to go purchase some potting soil or some garden dirt, because I've got tomatoes that I want to start. I've got the little what do they call it? The starting pots. But I also have some of the bigger pots to put those starts in once they get big enough. And I'm going to keep them out here, and that'll keep the pests away from them. It'll get warm and stay warm out here, and I'll have great tomatoes. I did buy some garlic bulbs to start. I've never grown garlic, and I'm gonna have to get something to grow it in. I know my husband and I go through lots of garlic, and I'm excited about that. I bought some vintage flower seeds. They almost look like feathery. I'll show that to you when they come. I bought them from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. That's where I buy almost all of my seeds at. I like the idea of the heirloom vegetables. My loofah squash are going to go out along the back fence so they can spread out. And I'm excited about I'm just very excited about spring. I'm going to get out and start to walk a little bit and build up my stamina. My leg is a lot better, but it's not 100%. I really need to do some laundry, but I don't want to quite yet go up and down the stairs to do laundry, and I really need to because I'm running out of clothes. And don't worry, I won't be running around naked, okay? What else? Gotta get this cleaned up out here, so because this is where I want to spend the bulk of my time stitching until it gets too cold in the autumn. But we're not going to talk about that because we're going to savor and enjoy every single day. We're not going to live in fear of what's going on outside. There is a lot of fear-mongering going on. And I had one night where I could not sleep, and I said, you can't be watching any more of that crap. Because in my bones, I just don't feel as though this is the end of the world as far as biblical prophecy is concerned. Leslie and I were talking about it. She shared what she felt, and I won't go any further than that with that, but what's going on as far as my understanding of biblical prophecy, which is practically nothing, but the sequence of events, there's just, it isn't lining up to me. It's not there's a certain sequence that these events happen in, and it's not happening that way. So I've decided that I am not living in fear. I'm going to live in faith, because it doesn't matter whether this be the end of the world or the end of the world as we know it. I think our world is changing. I think that there's been a lot of corruption, a lot of dishonesty, and a lot of theft of common folks' wealth to line pockets of leaders and politicians all around the world. And I think that the little guy is rising up, and there's enough little guys to make us very powerful. So Russia and China colluding is troubling, but it's not, it doesn't make me fearful. Maybe I'm foolish, but I don't think so, because the man upstairs, God, is where my faith is at. No matter what happens, I'm going to be with him. I'm going to be with my family, my brother, my grandparents, my dad. That's who I'm going to be with. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, trying to be the person the Lord wants me to be, so I can be up there for eternity, so I can sit under that tree with my best friend, and we can stitch and enjoy the Lord and stitch for eternity. And I imagine Jesus coming over to that tree where Leslie and I are sitting, and sitting down and talking with us while we stitch. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? So, oh, there's a robin. I saw the biggest, fattest robin here late last week. I had not seen one that big. I mean, it was big. Now, I know it was cold, and maybe its feathers were fluffed up, but oh my. So this is the quote that I want to read to you. It's from Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 6. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. And I am earnestly seeking him. I'm seeking him in the beautiful world that he's given us, and he has given us a beautiful world. It's just man mucking it all up. And I don't want to be part of the muck up. Oh, and please, our next door neighbor, he's had health issues last year, and it's gotten worse. He's had a heart attack, and only 17% of his heart is working, and the prognosis is not good. He's a young man. He's younger than I am. I think he's probably about 7 or 8 years younger than I am. His name is Ross. Would you please pray for Ross? Lift him up to the Lord. And he needs that. And oh, it's such a beautiful robin. I love him. And I saw on a website, what's the name of it? Pigeon Coop. I love his designs. He's from Canada, and he has, it'll be available tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Thursday, on St. Patrick's Day. It's a picture, and it's almost Charlie Harper-esque, of a robin flying overhead, and you can see it's red breast and it's gray wings, and I loved it, and I want to get that. So anyways, it's so beautiful. I've waited so long for this season. I've waited so long to retire. And I'm going to enjoy it no matter what's going on in the world. So I'm praying for all of you. I do. I pray for you every night. And as Father Mike says, pray for me. And also, one other thing is that I had I think I had 5 comments on the last video, and those went into my little baggie. Please remember, comments are hugs, and if you hug me, I definitely hug you back. Oh, and one of my viewers has lost her puppy, lost her fur baby, and I feel really bad about that. So we've all been there. You're not alone. Not that it makes any difference. That doesn't help your grief. But know that I believe with all of my heart that when we get up there to heaven, all of our fur babies are going to be there with us. All of them. So anyways, have a happy St. Patty's Day. Know that I love you. Know that the Lord loves you. Yes, He does. And have faith. And do not fear. Happy stitching, everyone. Well, we may be able to get you turned off. And maybe not. There we go. Bye. Well, that's not it.